a magical hum and a completely different world. Hi Lucas, today I'm going to review The Land of Stories, Book 1, The Wishing Spell, where fairy tales are real. So, Chris Colfer wrote the book, and there are a few kingdoms. The Northern Kingdom, the Red Riding Hood Kingdom, the Sleeping Kingdom, the Fairy Kingdom, the Charming Kingdom, the Corner Kingdom, and those are all the kingdoms. So, when Connor, who's a boy, and Alex, whose name seems like a boy but is actually a girl, inherit a book from their grandmother, and it starts glowing in the middle of the night when in Alex's room after school. And a few days later, Connor usually falls asleep, but then Alex fell asleep. And she never ever fell asleep, but she must have been worried about the book and what would happen. They both went to the bath, and Connor went into the girls' bathroom, and so did Alex. But Connor's a boy, so he wasn't supposed to go in there. And they both started fighting about the book, which was glowing, and it was glowing right then. And then Connor got so many detention slips, and he threw them away and was chasing after Alex when she was trying to get herself into the book, and he went bounding right into the room, and they both jumped into the book, so they ended up in the Land of Stories. The only way out of there was the wishing spell, so they had to compete against the evil queen to get them. And the evil queen wanted the wishing spell to get back her love. There was this witch who turned her heart to stone, and she could only feel upset for Mira when she was touching a heart that was made out of stone. And her actual heart was made out of stone too. So she couldn't feel sad for Mira. When they both got all the ingredients by figuring out very hard riddles, they were going to perform it. But then the evil queen got her hand on them, and she only needed a fairy tear, and so Connor smashed the jar of the fairy tear, and it landed down, and the queen was like, foolish boy, because then he wouldn't be able to activate the spell too, but at least then the evil queen couldn't, because they thought it wouldn't be something good. But she was able to bring her boyfriend back by using it, and it turned out. So when Alex started crying because her story was what happened to her was sad, she used the thing that was holding the fairy tear and collected one of her teardrops, and Alex was like, that won't work, I'm not a fairy, but she put it in with a potion, and it actually worked because Alex was half fairy. And they find that out because when the fairy godmother, who turned out to actually be their grandmother, asked for them, and so they find out that with their birth, the time difference became the same. It used to be like really fast in the human world, but slow in the other world. But it was actually the same time. It was just different time speeds. They just didn't know that it was like that. And Connor was like, so our mom might be in the 80s when we got home, and his grandmother was like, no, when you two were born, something magical happened. The time difference and in our world and the land of stories became the same. So I really like this book because of the map, and there's lots of adventure in here. They escape that many times, and they find out that Cinderella breaks her glass shoe many times before, and their grandmother fixes it a lot of times. In one, for collecting the fairy tear, they came to the fairy council with one, and Connor burst out of some place and was like, hang on, you can't kick this fairy out of the fairy world for turning another fairy's wings to leave for just a few seconds. Where's that fairy's trial? When will it take place? So he proved his point by doing it. And my favorite part in the book is when Connor gets all the detention slips and barges into Alex's room, because it was really funny for me. If you like magic and mysterious discoveries, this book is just for you. I give these books 5 stars, and I really like them. So bye-bye, Lucas. See you next time, and I hope you like and subscribe.